Okay, here we are. Hello, Mr. Fletcher. So here we are on this rainy evening in North Carolina, where I've decided to come online and show you guys history in the making. And for those who are actually watching live, you're going to find out firsthand exactly what I'm going to find in this roll. But here's the story behind it. It's a nice rainy evening in North Carolina. We decided to do nothing else, and I've got a gentleman by the name of Peyton Bryant here with me. And Peyton is from Kentucky. He came here to go to the Raleigh show with me, which was kind of disappointing, to say the least. But anyhow, he came here, and we were going to just putz around and get some things done here at the house this evening for the auction that's coming up on tomorrow. Well, we found a 1960D roll in this box of rolls that we were going through, and I saw that it was one of the rolls that is like concrete. It's a Megrigan Sons rolls that are really, really hard to bust open. And so I decided to get my heat gun out and my board and my gloves and my vice grips and everything and show him how I get the coins out of one of those Megrigan Sons really, really hard rolls. Well, we went through the first half of the roll already. And in that first half of the roll, I found one of the rarest RPMs that is known. So I decided to do the second half of the roll live. I have no idea yet what's in the second half of the roll. So we're going to do it live. And here we go. What I was looking for was a particular RPM that for some of you who know your RPMs will recognize it nearly immediately when you see it. Okay, this is a different RPM that I've been finding in this roll. It's a pretty nice one. Let's get it up here so I can see it. There we go. It's a pretty nice one. It's not 100% wonderful great, but it's a decent RPM. I like it. So I'm going to pull it out. And this one's going to go in the this is an RPM, but I don't want to identify it right now stack. So here's the next coin in the roll. I'm not going to tell you what I found until we actually find it. If we find one, I will actually let you know what we have found, because I know what I'm looking for. That's not one. This is not one. Not an RPM at all. This is not one, I don't think. Let me get this flipped around straight up and down so it's easier to see. Okay, this is one of them right here. This is one of them. Brian, do you know what this is? I'm sure Brian knows what it is, even though I don't have it lit very well right now. Oh, you guys should all have sound. Not 11, sir. Not 11. Try again, Brian. You're correct, Brian. You're correct. It is RPM number 44. This is arguably the rarest 1960D RPM. Here is our confirmation marker. Right here is a little curved die scratch right above the Y of Liberty. That's right. So this is my fifth one out of this roll. My fifth one out of this roll. I have never seen this in the flesh before. I've never seen one of these before today. Okay, we've talked about it, but I have not actually seen one until now. So this one comes out, goes on the stack with the others, and we move on to the next coin. And the next coin appears to maybe be an RPM, but it's definitely not what we're looking for. And I'm going to go with probably not an RPM. I'm on a stick, so it's a little bit harder for me to keep everything in perfect focus. Brian, do you have one of these, Brian? Did you already get one? Let's see. There's this. This is another different RPM that I've been finding in this roll. It's actually kind of neat. I just went by my first one in this half of the roll a couple of coins back. Okay, you do have one. Okay. So I'm going to have a few of these available once I get to the point where I'm ready to get these in holders and figure out exactly what's going on with them, how many I've got, and all that kind of stuff. They are not going to run cheap. These, Brian, tell us, how much would you expect to pay for one of these on the market in BU condition, decent BU condition out of an original roll? Just spit out a number. All right. Now I'm ready to keep moving. $50 is what you paid? I know there's something like that, that's for sure. That's not one of them, and this is. This is one of them. There's your die scratch above the Y. Curved die scratch above the Y. These things are so poorly photographed and referenced that hardly anybody even knows what these look like. But their popularity is finally coming to a point where people are like, I've been collecting RPMs for 12 years and I've never seen one of these. It's like, well, it's probably because everybody has them misidentified, which is more or less true, I'm sure. But I know finding them pre-identified, finding them already identified is nearly impossible. They never come up for sale. Okay, that's not an RPM. This is an RPM, but it's the other nice RPM. It's not number 44. Let's see, what do we come up with next here? If I can find next. Where did next go? Here is next. Okay, that's another one of the nice ones. I don't remember which RPM this is, but I know I've seen it before. I know this one has graced my desk a few times. I just don't remember what it is right now. I'm kind of excited about the 44, so I'm not really too worried about this one. Let's see, what do we have next here? Okay, this might be another RPM. It is. That's another RPM. Man, it's raining hard outside. We're going to talk about cats and dogs. Hello, Joseph. I'm not really seeing much of anything on this one. Nothing to be excited about, but this one is. That's a number 44 right there. See your curved die scratch above the Y. Harder to find than the 1960D number 4, Brian says, and he is correct. Brian, in case you guys don't happen to recognize Brian Allen, this is Dr. Brian Allen. He is the co-author of Strike It Rich with Pocket Change. He and Ken Potter wrote that book together. Oh, here's another RPM. This one is an unfamiliar to Chuck RPM. That's interesting. I don't know which one this is. Well, you have that book, Joseph. The author is sitting in the room with you. And we're looking for RPM number 44. There's another one of those. That's an interesting looking RPM. I don't know which one it is, though. I'll take this one off. And what do we have next? Ooh, what are you? You're interesting, too. There's any chance that anything that we find in this roll could be scarce because, well, number 44 is scarce. This is not number 44 right here. This is something different. I'm not sure if it's an RPM, but I will be taking a better look at this one as soon as we take offline and I get motivated. I'll try to look it up, figure out what it is. We have 6 coins left in this roll. Let me get through these last 6 coins. Slide everything forward here. And this is it one of them? No, this is not one of them. This is not what we're looking for, Dr. Jones. Let's see. Comes up next. Oh. Is it? No, it's not. This one appears to be an RPM. Maybe. But it's not one of the 44s. You going to go up there tomorrow, Jim? I might go up there tomorrow if we're going to have lunch together. I wouldn't have any problem going up there tomorrow. I already bought all the good stuff, though. It's a small show, brother. Small. We're talking about, I think I counted 13 dealers. Here's another RPM, but that one's got a dent on it. I don't want to keep it. So, yeah, just move it on through the system here. We got 3 coins left to look at. Any one of these could be. That one's not. Do we get one at all here? That one's not. The last coin in the roll? It is not. That's the other RPM that I don't know. I think it is. Nope. I don't think this one has anything at all on it. It might be a split lower serif. No. Nothing I can see there. Where's lunch? I don't know. Yeah, we're having palate incompatibility. I'm not really sure where we would eat. But let's see. How many of these did I get anyway? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of them in this roll. 7 of them. Eric needs 1. I need 1. So I'll have 5 for sale. I'll have 5 of them for sale. I tell you what, I'm going to, I believe, put them in the auction on Tuesday. I'll have them ready and have them in there on Tuesday. I don't think I've got so much stuff going on tomorrow already. Ah, well, whatever. Let's see. What can we do here? Let's do $50 a piece right now. And so if I do $50 a piece right now, I've got Farm Dog in for 1. I've got Josh Carr in for 1. Somebody else said Ben earlier, didn't he? Somebody said Ben. It was Stonecutter, wasn't it? Stonecutter said Ben 1. Taco John said Ben 1. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 already. Penny Hoarder. So let's see. Let's see who I have here. I've got Farm Dog. I've got Penny Hoarder. I've got Taco John. I've got Josh Carr. I've got, who else? Stonecutter. And, well, that's all I can sell right there. That's all I can sell. Let's make sure that we got everybody in the right order and nobody got ahead of any of these folks. So when I start up here, up toward the top, I've got let's see. Didn't Farm Dog say Ben first? No, Taco John said Taco John said Ben first. So Taco John was first. Stonecutter second. I don't see Farm Dog up high at all. I thought I saw him in there. He said hello, but I don't see where he said Ben. I guess not until later. So I've got, wow, I'm trying to get this right so I don't skip anybody. So I've got, I'm going to write these down because I'm not doing very well right now with my eyeballs. Let's see. Okay, Taco John came up first and said Ben. So I'm going to get him on there. Taco John. And then Stonecutter said Ben. He was second. And then see who said it next. Farm Dog was next. Farm Dog was next, and then Josh Carr. And I only had one more to sell. And the one more I have to sell would go to Penny Hoarder. So that's what I've got. So I've got Taco John, I've got Stonecutter, Farm Dog, Josh Carr, and Penny Hoarder. And that's all I've got. I've only got 5 coins I can sell. So I've got to keep one for the files here. I know Eric wants one of them. Eric's going to get one. And I don't have any other rolls like that, do I?
No.
No? That was the only roll I had like that? Okay. So I was only opening that roll as an exercise to show Peyton how to open one of these rolls that you have to open with a torch, basically, to get it open. And that's what we had. And so I found these in that roll. Would somebody have to pass? No, nobody had to pass. Yeah, this is amazing, right, Brian? We've been talking about this for a long time, and in fact, on Facebook, less than 4 months ago, I think on Facebook, I was offering $150 for anybody to get me one of these. Couldn't find it, never found one. And it's been so long since there were decent photographs of these. We ended up with absolutely no way to get one of them. I had someone kind of like on the line to get a couple of them to me, and he never produced them. So I figured, well, I'll probably sit and wait another 20 years before I see one. And boom, there it was, just like that. So that's what we've got. Let me put one of them under here and show you guys the markers and everything. I'm going to have to move my scope. And we'll take a look at this and see what all needs to be photographed on this coin for good markers. But okay, here is the RPM itself. The RPM itself shows as a horizontal line, a horizontal bar going through basically the middle of the mint mark. Oh, I sold you a roll about 6 months ago. You found 6 number 44s in there? Awesome, Tim. Well, now you know what you've got, right? Let's see. Next marker, the predominant marker that we find on these is this pattern of die scratches here. A lot of heavy die scratches, but the one that is predominant, the one that everyone looks for, is this curved die scratch right above the Y. Okay. And then we look on around. There's brand new curved die scratches and other die scratches of different sorts all over the obverse of the coin. Let's see what else we have here, if we have anything else. Okay, there's a curved die scratch coming out of the nose. Actually, there's 2 of them. Other curves in and around the date. So a lot of swirly die scratches going on all over the place on the obverse. There again, you can see the bar through the middle of the mint mark. The one I have here is stronger than yours, meaning that it's an earlier die state, Brian? Or a stronger strike? Let's see. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what markers we can find on the reverse. Okay, that looks like an old set of basically northeast die scratches running through cent. There's a die gouge next to the bottom of the E of 1. Right there. It's a die gouge there. Let's see, what else do we find here? Not really a whole lot that's remarkable. See if there's anything up here in E pluribus unum or in the upper part of the design. There's a little connector between the T and the E of states. There's a nice little marker for you. There's a die scratch running from the bottom of the T to the bottom of the E, and then one from the bottom of the E to the bottom of the D. That middle bar looks deeper than yours. Earlier, probably an earlier stage. Okay. Well, there it is. Oh, and by the way, the price for each of you who bid on there will be $50, and I can include it in a different package, or I can charge you shipping direct. You just let me know. If you plan on buying in the very near future, I'll just hold it, and I can put it in a package, like, I don't know, perhaps from tomorrow's auction or Tuesday's auction. They are really good for coming from a shrinker tube. Actually, the shrinker tubes are typically pretty strong. They're pretty nice coins usually in those. In fact, some of the highest grade coins I've ever found were in those shrink tubes. The shrinker tubes we're talking about are the ones that usually turn a brown-yellow color, and they have Megrigan suns on the bottom of them, and they are hard as concrete, and the coins get stuck inside of them, and it's just horrible trying to get the coins out of them unless you know what you're doing. And Peyton can tell you directly that I took maybe 4 minutes with a heat gun, maybe 5 minutes with a heat gun, and you just grab the roll with a heat-resistant glove and tap them on a table upside down after you get the top off, and then you slowly heat the roll until it expands enough to have the coins drop out, and they just drop right out of the roll. I can hold yours, Farm Dog, no problem. And I'll hold for Taco John and Penny Hoarder. I've got Taco John, Penny Hoarder, and Farm Dog saying to hold. Josh and Stone Cutter, you want me to hold yours or go ahead and charge you shipping so that you can send a payment and I can get them shipped to you individually? It'd just be an extra $3.50 because I have to put them in a first class package. Oh, you got a lot of those from... Okay, Josh says to hold. And then Stone Cutter, you're the last one that I need to know whether you want me to hold it and charge you on an invoice without shipping so that they can be shipped with other items. Or if you want me to go ahead and ship it now, I'd have to charge you an extra $3.50 for the shipping. And Stone Cutter is the last one. Says he can't wait to get his, but can you wait enough to see if it goes into an additional package of items that you would purchase later, or would you want me to go ahead and send it now? Heated knife lengthwise has worked for you. Twist a little and they'll pour out. Okay. Probably while Peyton's here, I think we'll open another roll and I'll have him film it so I can actually upload it to YouTube and you guys can watch how easy it is to get these out with a heat gun. My heat gun was see, a hot air dryer just doesn't work quite as well as a heat gun because a heat gun, it's got a lot more wattage to it and it pushes out a pretty good amount of wattage in heat straight at the target, enough that it would scorch your head and burn all of your hair off if you tried to use it as a hair dryer. So put yours on top of the toaster oven. Well, there you go. That's another way of doing it. This I'll just I have not heard yet from Stone Cutter as to whether he wants me to send his today to get him sent out quickly, or if he wants me to hold on to it until I can get another package together for him. He hasn't purchased much in a while, so probably just want to go ahead and pay for it and get it there. The knife trick works out on the road. Hammer and chisel, that's not a good way of doing it, Jim. you'll crack up everything you got. You scratch up the coins and everything else. Just kidding. Yeah, I used a chainsaw. The problem is the coins don't tend to turn out in the same condition as when we started. But who knew what condition the coins were in the first place? Because, I mean, you know, we do have a sealed tube we're talking about here. But this is, see you around, Brian. This is a heck of a find. It's a historic find. So I am going to go ahead and bounce out because I do have another person here with me, and that person who's here with me can help me do things I can't do by myself. So we're going to take advantage of that time while we can, and I will see you tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have an auction. It's going to be a rather sizable auction. It's got much more than just pennies. I'm going to have some nickels in there, large cent, got some other stuff, some other exciting stuff, V-nickel rolls, all kinds of stuff. So join me tomorrow evening right here on this channel for the auction number, I believe, 138. And I appreciate it, folks. I'll get these invoices out, and you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.